Tell you a story? Well, I do know the most incredible story of all. My story. It's my legend. The legend of Puss in Boots. Like all great tales, it begins with a humble god. I entered the establishment in search of a simple score. The patrons did not take me seriously. Until they were reminded of my reputation. The men gave up what they knew. That the bandits Jack and Jill had somehow found the magic beans. The legendary beans for which I spent half my life searching would lead to a giant's castle and to the Golden Goose. I would finally be able to repay my debt to my hometown of San Ricardo. I needed to find the location of this Jack and Jill. I could smell that one of the bandidos could help me, but he suddenly ran away. Whatever he knew, it was important enough to hide. But if I was to find those beans, I would need to catch him. But the other bandidos were not going to make that easy for me. Jack and Jill were staying at the hotel, and they had with them the magic beans. The fiesta was in full swing, but this was business. I would have no time for pleasure. Well, maybe a little time for pleasure. It was the classiest hotel in town, and nothing was going to stop me. With those beans, I could repay what I owed to the people of San Ricardo. My friend was telling me nothing. I needed to know what he knew. Was he too after the magic beans? There was something about the place. There was a distinct sense of anticipation. I came face to face with the one who had cost me my score. I was ready to fight. Dance fight! I had won the dance fight. This was not a surprise. What happened next, however? My rival, a woman. It explained a lot of things. Her name was Kitty, but the real surprise was still to come. Humpty Alexander Dumpty. He was once my dearest friend, like a brother to me. Just the sight of him caused me to have a flashback. Like this, I had arrived in the home for lost children, a kitten. An impossibly cute kitten. On my first day, Humpty had stood up for me, and in return, I decided I would always have his back. Humpty spoke of legends and inventions beyond my wildest dreams. But most of all, he told of the castle in the sky, and the beans that would take him there. Humpty was the brains, I was the skill. Just a kitten and an egg in search of magic beans. What could be more natural than that? As time went on, we found ourselves in trouble. But where I became a hero, Humpty took a darker path. He tricked me into stealing from the people of San Ricardo, from our home, bringing dishonor to both of us. I escaped. My brother did not. We were never to speak again until this day. Humpty was still in search of the beans, and now he had found them. We would repay our debt to San Ricardo together. He knew exactly where we could find them, but Jack and Jill were moving fast. Naturally, he had a plan for this too. Humpty knew where to go. He had been planning this day since we were small. We carefully planted the beans and waited. And waited. And then, amazing things happened. There were clouds, snow, some wind, some very pretty lighting. We ran, we climbed, we had a nap, we climbed some more. Until eventually we arrived at the castle and the location of our treasure. However, even with our great strength and will, the golden egg proved difficult to move. As always, Humpty had a backup plan. Finally, we had the goose that laid the golden eggs. We left the giant's castle the same way as we arrived, in style. We landed safely at the base of the beanstalk, but our safety was short-lived. Kitty and I were overwhelmed by superior tactics. They came for the goose, but they went away with more than they bargained for. Kitty and I knew we had to find him. We followed the tracks back to the bandit camp. We had the goose, and we were safe for now. We celebrated through the night. 2 old friends and 1 new, united in victory. But in the morning, the goose was nowhere to be seen, and my friends had vanished. I was alone once more. I decided to return to my home of San Ricardo. To my surprise, Humpty was already there with the goose. And my fate had been decided. He had planned it all from the start and revealed himself to be a master of deceit. But his revenge did not stop with me. The people of San Ricardo were next. I was powerless to stop him. Luckily, I still had one true friend. I knew where I could find my so-called brother. My only wish was that I was not too late. The town was saved, but my friend, my brother, fate held a different path for him. Humpty Alexander Dumpty was a golden egg all along. I was free. I had paid off my debt to the people of San Ricardo. But Kitty never stayed in one place for too long. Nor was she the type for big goodbyes. My only hope was that one day our paths would cross once more. Their story was over, but for me, this was just another chapter in the legend of Puss